Hello everyone and welcome to another movie review. Today we're taking a look at The Jungle Book by Disney, which is a live-action take of the classic animated film. But can it really accomplish that classic feel of the original film? Well, let's talk about it now. When this movie was first announced, there was a lot of doubts if they could really achieve the charming personalities of these animals, going from very cartoony animated style to realistic style, all in CGI, and somehow make it all real. But Disney and Jon Favreau as director has really nailed it down. Jungle Book is not only an achievement in creating a live action film for an animated film, but it's quite the achievement visually because the animals look so real. The whole movie feels so real, and then when you go watch the making ofs of the movie, it's actually a lot of CGI involved. And that's when you realize the real magic of filmmaking is really done throughout this film. I didn't really feel at any moment that this movie was actually all CGI. I felt it was so real. And this is also helped a lot by the actor who plays Mowgli. He does really great his role. All the animals are pretty much fake that he's interacting with, but he really makes it real. He really feels connection with these animals. And that's another great thing about this movie. Even though it's all animated and it's great visual presentation, it also has a heart. Throughout the movie, I care for all these characters. And some of these characters, we really didn't even see a lot of them in the film. Like, for example, at the beginning of the film, Mowgli is already part of the wolf pack and all that. And we didn't really get to see a lot of Mowgli with the wolves, but you feel like you know them. You feel that connection. The way that Mowgli interacts with them, the way the characters just look at each other, say so much. Like, it's that magic. It really transcends. The characters really develop through the CGI, and Mowgli really leads them to really give them that character as well. And those worried that the movie doesn't have the charming aspects of the animated film, it actually does. Baloo is as charming as ever in this live action take. Sure, his look is different, he looks like a real bear, but the charm is intact to the point that the characters actually do sing in the movie. Although the singing is not as constant as, say, in a normal Disney animated film, it is done in a very nice way that it pays tribute to the animated film. And that's the great thing about this movie. Even though it's a live action take of that movie, it also pays respect to that original film. It doesn't forget about its existence, as it takes some of the musical elements of that original film. There's a lot of key changes to the animated film in a couple of scenes, but all the changes, I felt that they were pretty meaningful in a good way. They really helped develop more the movie. Even the ending itself of the movie is actually different, and I'm not gonna spoil it to you obviously, but I was pretty happy with this ending, and I personally thought it was better, the ending, than the animated film. Another great thing about this film is that you really fall in love with the film without really needing to know about the animated film. Although I did watch the animated film, I wasn't like a big fan of it. Like, I watched it too late, I was already too old for it. And it's a very classic animated film, and I do respect it, and I think it's a great film. But it didn't really get to me to the point that, oh, I'm a big Jungle Book fan or anything like that. But this film made me really fall in love with this world of the Jungle Book. I really fell in love with all the characters. I really loved Baloo, I really loved Bagheera, I loved them all. Although I actually hate Shere Khan now more, but that's kind of the point. Shere Khan is pretty much the villain of the film. But that's great because each animal feels different. Their personalities really shine differently. Even though they're pretty much animals and they're CGI, they really nailed down how to make them different while still being realistic. My only complaint about the film is that I felt it was missing something. I don't know, maybe a message that really transcended throughout the film. Like, the story was great and it has some messages, but I didn't come out of the theater with a message that I would say, wow, I'm gonna talk about this or anything. It's really a minor complaint because the journey of the film is great, everything's excellent, Mowgli's growth as a character and all the other characters is great. But I just wish maybe there was some kind of message that kids could get even more inspired or something. But overall, I think the movie is really great quality. It's very wonderful. Visually, it's amazing. The soundtrack is wonderful. The characters, you really care about them in the end. You want them to succeed in the film. And just overall, a great thrilling adventure all the way through story that I definitely recommend in the theater because it's just a great grand presentation overall. I give The Jungle Book an 8.5 out of 10. Thank you for watching this movie review. Let me know in the comments below what are your thoughts on the film, if you really enjoyed it or if you didn't like it. Be sure to let me know in the comments. How does it compare to the animated film for you? I would like to know all your thoughts about that. And stay tuned because next time we're reviewing Ratchet and Clank the movie.